out. But it is not gold, it is God we need. Trust me, it's time to wake up and pray. Remember, in a depression, no money is lost. No, it just changes hands. Wealth is just transferred from the already poor and impoverished to the super rich. So it's a transfer of wealth that takes place. Well, the quotation that I'm going to give you comes from the very excellent Truth Seeker website. I recommend it strongly. It's excellent. And this document is from Henry Macau, and it's called "Is the Illuminati Provoking Economic Collapse?" And he says, remembrance Varley's words. Well, the answer to that is, most likely it is. We may be on the document says, we may be on the verge of a stock market crash reminiscent of 1929. I was watching CNBC when the news came across that Moody's had downgraded the insurance giant AIG, American International Group. This company was already on the ropes Monday when its stock crumbled to $4.75 from $11. That is 60% in a single day. It was down from a $70 52-week high, from $72 down to $4.75. The company had gone to the Fed for a bailout, as I said, and the Federal Reserve is a private bank. It was estimated it needed $40 billion. Because of the Moody's downgrade, it emerges that it will need a lot more money to avert bankruptcy. This is a massive company that holds the pensions of millions of employees. A money manager estimated that $1 trillion will be lost if AIG declares bankruptcy. The whole world financial system could be taken down. He said banks in the Far East were already acting like this is inevitable, and the collapse already has been set in motion. Well, you know, they've been pilfering their pension funds for quite a long time. This has just been coming and coming and coming. And this is because of all these activities that I'm saying, they're coming up to the wire. We're at the total meltdown. The document continues, as you can imagine, the CNBC commentators were frantic. One demanded to know how the Fed can allow this to happen. He doesn't know that the Fed is a private bank. They're going to make huge sums on this. We know they print money, he said. Another wondered if the states whose pension funds were held by AIG could organize a bailout. Not enough time, he was told. The bottom line is that Tuesday and the rest of this week could be ugly, so be prepared. How do you prepare for economic meltdown? Just like I said, how do you prepare for nuclear war? How do you prepare for the end of the world, as people refer to it? The second bottom line is that this depression, like the last, appears to be caused by a deliberate contraction of credit. It is. That's just what Healer said. It is organized. It is controlled. House prices are falling because banks don't have the money to lend to house buyers. As a result, portfolios holding mortgage-backed securities are tumbling, taking banks with them. The Fed, after bailing out Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, have let Lehman Brothers fail. AIG appears to be next, and the dominoes will continue to fall. At this time, I'm still continuing with the document, at this time it is important to remember that an Illuminati defector known as Savali said she was taught that the end of the world scenario involved an economic collapse. Remember, the Illuminati is a Masonic cult founded and funded by the central bankers who own the Fed. And there's a link for her full testimony given about 10 years ago. And I have to keep interjecting with my own comments, because we have to realize it says it's a Masonic cult. True. But then we have to realize that the Masons is dominated by Babylon, making it Vatican, the Vatican. So behind everything, as we have got videos and documents that explain it over and over, is the Babylon, the mystery Babylon. It is so secretive, it is a mystery. But behind the bloodshed, behind every situation is Babylon. They just use the various countries and the various governments to carry out their will. That is what the Bible states. It's not just my idea. Want to hear the end of the world scenario the Illuminati taught me? But bear in mind, they don't factor God in, as I keep saying. It was cult propaganda, but this is how they believed the New Order would be ushered in. There will be continued conflict in the Mideast, with a severe threat of nuclear war being the culmination of these hostilities, an economic collapse that will devastate the economy of the US and Europe, much like the Great Depression. One reason that our economy continues limping along is the artificial supports that the Federal Reserve had given it, manipulating interest rates, etc. But one day this won't work, or this leverage will be withdrawn on purpose, and the next Great Depression will hit. The government will call in its bonds and loans, and credit card debts will be called in. There will be massive bankruptcies nationwide. Europe will stabilize first, and Germany, France, and England, surprise, will have the strongest economies. That's what they think. And will institute through the UN an international currency. Japan will also pull out, although their economy will be weakened. Peacekeeping forces will be sent out by the UN and local bases to prevent riots. The leaders will reveal themselves, and people will be asked to make a pledge of loyalty during a time of chaos and financial devastation. Doesn't sound pleasant, does it? That sounds very much like a mark of the beast, doesn't it? I don't know the exact time frame for all of this, and I wouldn't want to even guess. The good news is that if a person is debt-free, owes nothing to the government or credit debt, and can live self-sufficiently, they may do better than others. I would invest in gold, not stocks, if I had the income. Wrong. I would invest in God now that I haven't got the income. Gold will once again be the world standard, and dollars will be pretty useless. Remember, after the Civil War, our money will be worth about what Confederate money was after the collapse. And as I said earlier, what a difference an L makes. It's not gold we need, it is God we need. All this said, it could just be cult propaganda taught to me and others to frighten us. It may be that none of this will happen. I sincerely hope not. I also strongly believe that God is able to stay the hand of the wicked and to take care of our nation and others if we turn to Him. That is a crucial and important point. She is absolutely right if we turn to Him. But it's not a matter just of staying His hand, staying the hand of God. It is a matter that we have rejected Him totally, utterly, and completely.